Good morning, YouTube. How are you this morning? I'm not too bad. It's not too bad at all, actually. Better than I was on Friday. I'll talk about that in a minute. It is 11:45 a.m. Central Time, and I am in Mount Pleasant, Texas, the Home Depot, which is on the south side of town, next to Preferred Manufacturing, which we've delivered to many a time. Last we talked, I was getting ready to leave the Home Depot DC and go to park the truck at Atomic. I had told y'all that I was nigh on that close to death. I ended up sitting there for about another 15 minutes because my head was hurting so bad, and I downed 4 bottles of Gatorade, the smaller ones, you know, the 12-ounce ones. And while I was sitting trying to get myself together to go, I happened to look to see what it really was. It was 100 degrees. This was at 7 p.m., something like that. It was 100 degrees, and the heat index was 112. That's what it had been when I was tarping, securing all that, doing all that work with that load, moving all that crap between those trailers. It was brutal, and I got home. I got the truck over to Atomic and parked the truck. Took just the bare necessities that I needed to take home: my laundry, and you know, my iPad, a couple other things. Went home, and I got home, and I really couldn't even eat dinner. You know, I just was completely non-functional. Sat around, took a shower, went to bed, and passed out. I think I got pretty close to a heat stroke, and it's something you need to be careful of out here in this environment. And I had taken several little breaks while I was working, but you know, it was. I was still feeling under the weather Saturday morning when I got up. Saturday morning, I did get up. I puttered around the house, took a shower, I felt better, got something to eat, and then left to go meet my daughter for a few minutes, and then headed out to Possum Kingdom Lake to see my stepson at summer camp where he's working for the summer. I think I've talked about that. Picked him up after he was done for the day, took him to cash his paycheck, and we went out and had lunch at Chili's in Mineral Wells. And then I took him to Walmart so he could buy some supplies for the week, you know, soda pop, candy, junk, just junk that they really can't get there, so he can keep it in his staff cabin. And as a treat, I paid for that for him. And then we went back I took him back and we hung out for a while, and then I left. I got home I think I left at 9 a.m. I got home about 7 p.m. And then since I had a big lunch, didn't do anything for dinner on Saturday night. Yesterday, I really didn't do jack at all. I got up, putted around. I had a bunch of errands to run, had to go shopping for the truck. I had to go do some other things and run some errands. Took the wife with me. Then we went and ate at El Phoenix for dinner, and then went home and just chilled out and went to bed. Got up this morning, came in, picked up the truck, and I had a really long pre-trip this morning because of all the rain we got. On Saturday, we got in DFW officially 4.5 inches or something like that. The gauge at Atomic read 5 3/4 inches of rain. So I went over the load really well to make sure it didn't get damaged from all the hail, wind and rain and hail, because it came down pretty good at times. Looked like it was right. Then I hooked it up and took off at roughly 8 o'clock, and I got here at 10:30 this morning. Had a little bit of an ordeal finding somebody to get me unloaded, but they finally came out and around and got it done after I got the tarps off, strapped the foot away, and everything else. So I do have a load already. I got the pre-plan yesterday on Sunday, which is, I have never ever gotten that before, gotten a pre-plan on a Sunday. Somebody was working overtime. I'm heading up to J.M. Huber in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. I haven't been there in a really, really long time. I think the last time I was there was this time last year. Well, it would have been this time last year, because this time last year I was teaching in North Little Rock. So I have to go back and relook, but I think it was actually before I went to teach in Little Rock that I was in J.M. Huber up in Broken Bow. Going up there, pick up some Orient strand board, fiberboard, plywood, whatever you want to call it. I'm taking that to Bison Lumber in Conroe, Texas, due tomorrow. So I got about an hour and a half drive to get there, so we're going to hump on up there. It's starting to get warm, but it's not supposed to be overly oppressive today. That doesn't start again until tomorrow. Yeehaw. I will tell you, this is going to be a short week. I have a doctor's appointment on Friday, and then me and the wife are going camping for the holiday. So there will be either a 3 or 5 day gap in videos. Now, you know, you're going, well, we're getting videos like 5 at a time, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm still having problems. As you're watching this, you've seen the bunch of videos that were just uploaded. That's because I'm having problems with the uploader on YouTube. And I'm not sure what the problem is. I talked to them last week about it because it keeps crashing out on the uploads. I have 3 different browsers on my iPad, and all 3 browsers and the YouTube uploader app, but in the YouTube app, they all fail about 15 to 20% into the videos. And it's not internet connection or anything like that, because nothing else is having a problem. So I'm gonna take their advice sometime here today while I'm waiting, and I'm gonna reset my iPad to factory and then re-download all my apps. You're like, that's gonna take forever. Well, at least I got 4G LTE and unlimited data. But J.M. Huber actually has Wi-Fi. It's theirs. I might be able to connect to it and see if I can. If not, I may have to wait till I get to Conroe or wherever. But I need to do it. At the very minimum, I can reset my iPad and just for the uploading. I hate having all these videos sitting on here. So that's it. Long update for start. We'll have another update when I get to J.M. Huber. Good afternoon, YouTube. How are you this afternoon? I'm pretty good. It's hot, but I'm not drenched to the bone, so it's okay. It is 4:30 p.m. Central Time, and I am in Broken Bow, Oklahoma, at Huber Engineered Woods. Last we talked, I was finishing up at the Home Depot, and I was heading up this way. And I got here at 1:30. Got in the entrance line. I think I got in here at 2:30, about 2:30, as far as checking in and then getting on back. They started loading me, and then I got loaded. That didn't take very long, and then I was able to pull up and secure, and then they tarped me, and then I finished it off. That took about 50 minutes because I had to wait about 10 minutes to get tarped because they do all the tarping here. And I'm currently in line waiting to go through the checkout scale. So I have 5 hours and 43 minutes remaining, and I got to stop for fuel somewhere. I'm probably going to end up stopping in somewhere. I think probably Mount Pleasant, maybe. Not Mount Pleasant. Excuse me. Probably Sulphur Springs. Somewhere. No, Mount Vernon. Thank you very much. Mount Vernon at the Loves. I'm only going to buy 50 gallons, just enough to get me down the road to the Pilot in Huntsville, where I hope to get to spend the night. Once I get there, I'll buy fuel. It's going to be late. It's probably going to be 10:30 when I get there. There are 3 truck stops right there. There's the old hitching post across the street. There's the Pilot itself, and then there's that Exxon I stayed at once before. I should be able to get a parking spot in one of those. If I don't, I will find a parking spot in one of those. Even if I got to buy a spot at Pilot. I really don't want to do that, but I probably will. With the week being as short as it is, I don't want to goof off too much. This load is due tomorrow anytime when I get there from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. I want to try to get there as early as I can, you know. But I already have a pre-plan for tomorrow. As soon as I'm done with that, I got to drive down to the Port of Houston and pick up some skidded coals and take them up to Paris, Texas. Generally, when all things would work right, you should be able to get those in get them to Paris on the same day. It won't happen. The port is too slow as of late. So I'll have to probably deliver those on Wednesday. And then I'll get one more load after that because I'm supposed to be home Thursday afternoon so I can be off on Friday. Like I said, it's going to be a short week. Going to be kind of crazy. So I'll let y'all know how the rest of the day goes tomorrow when I unload in Conroe at Bison Wood Products. I think that's what it's called. But until then, keep the shiny side up, 73s. Be safe.